Hey, this is Ishan. I'm one of the founders of Chosenly. I wanted to give you a quick overview of the platform, the benefits, the reason why we think it's a good time to use something like ours, especially for B2B companies. So I think that that's interesting because we only work with B2B companies. And now in doing so, we finally have some of our customers have started implementing what we've been recommending. And now because of that, they're seeing things like, again, like I think this agency, which is my own agency, Spear Growth, we've closed $100,000 this month. I'm recording this at 12th August. We've closed 100K in revenue this month for the agency. Because of this, we used to see about a call every 2 weeks. Now we see about 2 to 3 calls a week getting scheduled from ChatGPT. Had a call today evening. The other two are for more B2B SaaS companies. This one was, again, they were already seeing LM traffic go up before working with us. And then again, this here is where they implemented Chosenly Insights. You can see the growth completely accelerated. And finally, this is a third instance where, hey, they had essentially this was a setup with multiple teams across different regions, and every team looked at their own metrics where their visibility was basically zero. They picked some topics, they did some amount of outreach, they did some amount of content creation, and now suddenly their visibility went from 0 to 9 and 14% respectively. This is for two reasons. Now, the reason why I'm going to start there is because, hey, I haven't seen a lot of or any other tool really say, okay, this is what we did and this is why it increased. Every other case study that I have seen is usually just, hey, LLM traffic is increasing by default. This claim credit for that. Or it's just a bunch of best practices and stuff, right? So versus what we do, and let me share the platform now. What we do is we have different modules for different teams. And this is the actual Chosenly dashboard. So for example, we have for content teams, we'll tell you exactly what content to create. Right? This is actual data on exactly what content to create, where do you show up. We have filters to show you exactly who can you go after. If you in fourth, like who's in first, all of that stuff. We have this data, which again, no one has this. And this view just makes it very, very easy to use. It tells you exactly what to add to your content. We have content briefs that get generated that you can copy and put into ChatGPT as is to give it to either a human or an AI powered process. There are this another view, which is again very unique to us, which shows you exactly what do LLMs believe are important, or how do they believe that for a product in your industry, how do they take decisions, right? How do they recommend something? We are the only tool that figures this out and then shows you that for different personas, who you or your competitors, who gets recommended where. And when you aren't recommended, then you can go ahead and add information. It tells you exactly who was recommended. You can select, hey, I think I can beat Tori in cost effectiveness, right? So it tells you exactly what does it know about Tori, what does it know about us, why did it recommend Tori, what can you add, all of that stuff, right? Again, for outreach teams, we like every other tool doesn't even have this amount of this view of information. It tells you exactly what is like this one was used in 326 different searches versus so you can prioritize that over something, for example, that was used in 2 or 3 or 4 or a single search to generate answers for one or two. Now, for example, you obviously cannot use the key, like you cannot like say that, hey, I want to show up on a Wikipedia page of a different company or one of your competitors. So we have this very cool grouping function that actually groups things by, hey, what is a listicle? What is that? Again, unique to us. And if you are already mentioned in something, for example, here you are mentioned and so are these competitors. So you can just completely filter out where are you already mentioned again. And in which pages are you mentioned? Again, no other tool does that. They all look at, hey, are you mentioned in the answer or not? We are the only ones scrape the page and tell you, are you mentioned in the page or not? You can figure out who to reach out to based on that. Again, we have models for brand and legal teams, for PR teams, exactly what PR sites to go after, what to do. Now, because of all of these models are divided by teams, it gets very clear who should do what kind of impact can they see, how can they, and it's what we've seen is it's only about like every team is already doing their task. It's only about a 20% extra effort on top of that to also see results from AI search optimization, which I believe we've made very, very obvious. on what to do. And finally, I think the one reason why a lot of companies work with us is because of the amount of support we give. We Every single client of ours gets a Slack private channel, right? With our AI search optimization experts. The moment you get the dashboard, first of all, there's a call that happens 7 days. After that, you spend some time looking at the data. Every team figures out, hey, this is what I want to do. This is what I want to do. You all figure that out. Then there is a once you figure out, hey, this is what we would all want to do, how we would want to implement, there's a call where we make our recommendations, clear all the doubts. And then during implementation, if anyone feels that, hey, what do I do with this data? Let it take a screenshot, send it to us, and we'll tell you exactly what page would I make? How would you structure something? Is there an example of something someone else has done? Have we done something? Is there a template? What are the best practices? We would do that. Right. And I don't think any other tool does nearly uh, close to anything like this, right? Or makes it as actionable. The big catch with our tool is we only work with B2B companies. That's where we specialize. That's what we're good at. And it would not work that well for B2C. But we have enough and more than enough proof that it works for B2B SaaS and it works really well. Check us out. I hope this was helpful. This was a quick 7-minute overview of the kind of results we've seen, kind of impact we've seen, why people work with us, an entire demo of the platform. As next steps, if you're watching this, maybe reach out to us, see if we can walk you through a more detailed demo. We could figure out how your team is structured. What are you doing today? How would that change? How much additional effort would it take? And maybe if it's very relevant, we can even create a sampler report and show you the kind of data that exists in your industry. And what can you do there? Cool. Hey, this is Shan signing off. Hope this is helpful.